Welcome to the Mom Meanings a Moment podcast. We're your hosts, Chrissy
and Cindy,
co-founders of Her Health Collective.
We are two moms obsessed with revolutionizing the way moms take care of themselves. We are so glad you're here. Let's dive in. Katie Parker, Becky Fife, and Allie Callister are the co-creators of a program called I Believe in Me, and it was created for tweens and teens in the age range of 10 to around 13 or 14-ish. In this episode, we talk with the I Believe in Me team about how their program helps to build confidence in our children so they can deal with uncomfortable situations, stay true to themselves, and manage friendship drama. Make sure you listen to episode 67, where we discussed teaching our tweens and teens ways to resist negative societal demands affecting their mental health. Katie Parker is president and CEO of Bloomfully LLC, which includes the Singers Company, the program created for elementary, and I Believe in Me, which is a program created for middle school. Katie has a passion for bringing the confidence of young girls, tweens, and women to the surface. Her mission is to help them grow above the comparison, the criticism, and the self-doubt that are plaguing girls. Allie Callister is also an owner, co-creator, and content developer for I Believe in Me. She is passionate about helping women of all ages look and feel confident. Becky Fife is an owner and co-creator of both Bloomfully and I Believe in Me. She is passionate about helping young girls develop confidence early on so they can overcome negative influences in the world. The I Believe in Me program was created to provide real tools and habits that strengthen confidence in tween girls. They do this by using garden imagery and analogies to help girls understand who they are and what they have to offer. This in turn helps them become stronger, find their voice, and grow in confidence, which creates a solid foundation of a happy middle school life. Enjoy the episode.
So much of what we've already spoken about comes down to raising confident girls, confident children. It can be challenging in our world today for girls and women to feel comfortable taking a stand, speaking up, making noise, being heard. Doing so often earns women certain labels. They're given certain looks. They're told to sit down. They're told to be quiet. How can we build up lasting confidence in our tween daughters to help them now and in the future? And in thinking about this, I'm always kind of bringing it back to my own family and my child. My daughter is quite a bit younger. She's almost 6. Do you have any suggestions on how to build confidence in our children starting at a younger age? And I imagine a lot of it goes back to what Becky was just saying with a lot of the how to combat negative self-talk and stopping the comparison game. But what about specifically building the confidence in our children?
There's so much. We probably will all answer this, but I will just take one perspective. At a young age, especially when they're teachable, hopefully, and a little bit like more under our influence as moms, if we can help them, kind of what Allie mentioned before, when we help them establish a daily routine, simple things, helping them realize that they can accomplish and feel good about themselves, and establishing habits that are good habits. And we actually teach the Tiny Habits method, which is the work of Dr. BJ Fogg. And he teaches that habits are created by emotion. And if we can help children establish their habits and then celebrate themselves, like, look what I did. I made my bed. I'm awesome. Look what I did. I took out the trash. Mom feels so good about this. I am awesome. Then that feeling that they created that morning, it changes their day. They feel full, like they instead of just getting up and like kind of, flailing around and then, having mom yell, you haven't done this, you haven't, like, there's a whole different feeling in our day, especially starting off a school morning, which can be stressful. If they know what's expected, and as they follow that routine, if they learn to tell themselves, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I love it when I make my bed. I love it. It feels good when my room was clean. To acknowledge those tiny little steps and to create those good habits by stacking them on each other, then when they get to school, their homework's in their backpack, they feel prepared for the day, and they're starting off with a confident foot in a sense, knowing that they did that. They accomplished simple little tasks that morning.
It sounds kind of silly, but like that's what we always tell the girls at the beginning of the course is routines are the roots. That's what keeps you steady. And as a mom, I think we can all attest that we're not going to be perfect at this. Okay. There's no house that's like, la, 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 rainbows and sunshine.
Right.
Everybody made their bed. It's like, whatever. But we always come back to that. Like when the worms appear, the unexpected things happen in a family, we got to keep moving. From a 6-year-old to a 20-year-old, having those routines, getting up at a normal time, we hear this from psychologists all the time, having that set time you get up, having like the little tasks that you do, it creates those emotions. Like Becky said, like I did something, I have purpose in my day, I have purpose as a person, I can give back. You're ready to give back because you're ready for your day. When you're scrambling and crazy, you can't. And you think about routines are the roots. The roots are what are in the soil, seeking out all those nutrients. And our soil is our mind and our heart working together. So that all goes together. When your roots are strong and deep and have a good foundation of steadiness, that means your soil's working and your soil gets more nutrients and you're feeling better. As silly as it may sound to someone, like what, making my bed, getting my kids to like have a morning routine. And I'll be honest, my kids really don't make their bed. Like we have the idea, but we do have routines as a family where we have breakfast every morning. We get the nutrients in our body to get our brain working. We get active in the morning. Every family is different. And as they're older, yes, really do make that bed or really do put those clothes away, but whatever. Anyway, I just think it might sound silly, but really routines are the roots that keep us steady and really strengthen that confidence of a child of what they did accomplish and what they can accomplish in their day.
If I can add just one little thing, I think building confidence as a young child from a parent standpoint comes in teaching your child a sense of knowing who they are and knowing what feels good to them and then what doesn't feel good to them. Once a month, we have a little thing, we have a Zoom party with all of the I Believe in Me girls. We call them, it's called How's It Growing? We just check up with the girls to see like, how are you doing in this area? Or what did you learn? Or what mantra did you use this week? Or what tool are you utilizing in your life? And one of the girls shared this story that she was at a friend's house and they were watching a movie. And we taught them how to do these soil checks where they check in with their heart and their mind and make sure that they're feeling good. When one of those is off, if your heart's feeling ucky about something, whether it's gossip or a show that you're watching, then you know that you need to change something. You need to remove yourself from the situation, change the subject or whatnot. So she's sitting on the couch watching this movie and her heart's off and her mind is saying, this is not appropriate for me and my age. And my heart doesn't feel good right now. So she had the confidence to look at her friend and her friend was feeling the same thing. And they looked at each other and they're like, go. So they removed themselves from the situation. That is confidence. That is knowing who you are. That is knowing where your morals. Oh my gosh, it was the cutest story. And I get emotional about it because she knew in her heart what made it feel good. And that didn't make it feel good. And just think this little 11-year-old who got up and removed herself, think of the things that she will do in high school when her identity is, when she might look to social media or heaven forbid a boy or an outside source, but she has that soil check. She knows, okay, my mind and my heart, they've got to align. They've got to feel good. And if not, I need to get out or I need to change or I need to switch this situation. That is true confidence, knowing who you are and what you stand for. And when you can speak up, that is what we teach the girls. And if they can learn it as a 10-year-old, oh my gosh, their life, it won't be easy, but it will be so much more manageable. And I think they will save themselves from harder, stickier situations in the future. And that's why it's one of the first things we teach them is knowing who you are.
Not just that, Allie, I think they'll change the world. You made me emotional too. That's not a surprise, but yeah, that is so powerful to have that confidence at that age, to recognize that you are in an uncomfortable situation and to make a stand and to make a move and to change your circumstance. I want that for me as an adult. I absolutely want that for my child. And to have that at the age of 10 or 11 is incredible. Thank you for sharing that. I had chills and I have to wipe away the tears right now.
I know, me too. It's these films, they're amazing. And with this garden theme, it's so easy. It's so easy for them to recall these mantras and things because it almost becomes like second nature to them. And that's like the beauty of this whole garden mentality. It's so easy for them to know, to remember it.
And Chrissy, like you said, it's challenging for women today because sometimes they get labeled if they take a stand or if they are making noise, they earn a certain kind of label. But with an I believe in me mindset like that, it's like, who cares? If you feel right about this and you know in your mind and your heart that you are a woman that is meant to do this, then take a stand. Who cares if you stand alone? Who cares what they are labeling you as? Because you know, and you believe in what you're doing is right. And that actual tool will help women take a stand and do what they feel they should be doing. So these girls will hopefully do that 10 years from now.
One of my favorite episodes is called Who Cares What They Think? And it is literally my favorite episode because if you don't care what anyone else thinks about you and you know who you are, you know what you stand for, and you're making decisions in your life, in your garden, and bringing things in and keeping things out, and it's your choice because you're the master gardener, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. And we can say that completely true of our families. As the moms, as Allie said, the gatekeeper, we decide what comes in, we decide what goes out, we decide. Really, if that one garden tool of saying, who cares what they think, is everything.
This episode of Mama Needs a Moment is sponsored by Camp Gladiator. Camp Gladiator is a health and fitness platform for all ages and fitness levels. They provide workouts that are designed and trained by certified personal trainers, whether that is through their outdoor fitness platform, live online workouts, or through their on-demand library. They also have certified nutrition coaches and registered dietitians who offer nutrition coaching.
I love working out with Camp Gladiator and have been for almost a year now. I think one of the things I love most is the positive environment and community that not only works out together, but also becomes a family outside of camp while supporting and giving back to the community. CG members can participate in an unlimited number of workouts each month, and the super fun outdoor workouts include dumbbells along with other fitness toys, which are my favorite, the balls, the bands, the ropes, the fire hoses, so much fun. And the virtual workouts use dumbbells and other things that can be easily found around your home.
Camp Gladiator members have a primary trainer that will keep you motivated, accountable, and will be there to do all they can to help you get the most out of your fitness journey.
CG is also great for moms. I can't remember how many camps I've been to where I've seen moms with their children in tow, whether in a carrier, a stroller. Plus, you'll see older children working out alongside their parent, which is always awesome to see. Sometimes they even use their children as an extra weight or just to bring them into the movements because they want to.
They have an amazing number of workouts that are offered all throughout the day. You can catch outdoor and live online workouts from 5 a.m. until 10 p.m. And the on-demand ones are available 24 hours a day. Anyone can join Camp Gladiator for a full week of free workouts. Get your free week using the link in the show notes. My heart is just beating so fast, and it's just like, I love it. I want my kids to do it. Because as a parent, I'm going to stick with this planting theme. We can put the seeds in and teach these little things. But with the way that society has gone now, with not having as much of the community mentality of raising your kids, it's so helpful to have these programs that the kids will have fun doing, as well as really helping those seeds that we plant as parents to grow and having them hear them in different ways, having the messages come in different ways. Because, I mean, we all know that the more we're introduced to something, the more it'll stick with us. So I'm just really excited about this program and talking to my kids. I actually talked to my 10-and-a-half-year-old about it. And I was like, and it's a garden theme. And she was like, ooh, it's so cute.
She would love it.
You would love to have her. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Well, as I look back and I think back at my youth, I was the type of person who was a people pleaser, and I did it at the expense of my authenticity. And ironically, so Chrissy and I have on our expert panel, we have an Enneagram specialist. And so I don't know if you've heard of the Enneagram, but it's a personality tool, and it goes very deep into figuring out who you are based on the type of compensatory methods that you use as a child and how they're no longer serving you now. So I found out by doing this that I'm an Enneagram 9, which is a people pleaser. And it's because when I was a child, my compensatory method was to feel safe and more secure and have a sense of belonging by not ruffling feathers of the people around me. Don't cause conflict. Don't state your opinion too loudly. Oh yeah, you too, Allie.
Yep, that was me.
Don't say it too loudly because it could potentially create opposition between people and won't be fa la la in the room. So I've had to do a lot of work as an adult to learn how to pay attention to my own voice. Like you were just saying, pay attention to that inner feeling, because there were so many times that I felt it was off, but I just started to not listen to it as much. So now I am currently on the sidelines watching our girls navigate these same waters. And I have this deep desire for them to stay in tune to themselves, use their voice, and navigate the friend drama with a lot more confidence than I ever had. When friends are mean and drama starts, what is the best way to handle it?
It's what Allie said, because you use that same, we call them soil checks, and what they are. So we just full review, your soil is your mind and your heart, and it works together to guide your life. That inner voice that you were just talking about, when things feel off, that's your soil check signal going, something is off. And the two questions you ask, so let's say in this area, we're talking about friendship, right? So you can do soil checks in every area of your life. Friendship, fashion, like what's appropriate to wear, what's not, media, what's appropriate to view, what's not, just in learning, in your relationships with your family. So you're constantly, we tell these girls and teach these girls, you're constantly doing these soil checks. So in this experience, in this example that you brought up, it's friends. So in a soil check, does this make sense? Okay, that's the mind question. Does this make sense for me and my age? And then my heart. How is my heart feeling? And then another garden tool we use for friends. So we have lots of episodes just about friendship because that's a big deal for girls at this age. You've done the soil check. You know something's wrong. You're not feeling super great about what just happened, the drama that just happened. Now, what do? So there's lots of things you can do. We teach the girls you can remove yourself from the situation, like Allie presented in that media situation. You can just leave the group. You can kind of take note. And so we have a tool that we say 3 strikes, you're out. So in friendships, if you've been hanging out with the same group or the same girl, and the same negative feeling, the same trigger in your soil goes off, and it's happened 3 times within kind of a short period of time, or just enough where you're connecting those dots already. It's like, oh, and as a parent, you hear that. Who'd you hang out with today at school? And that same girl or that same name gets brought up, and the kind of the same negative, or your kid's grumpy and you're wondering why, and you're digging deeper, and that same person tends to be in that conversation about that negative feeling. That's 3 strikes, you're out. And either as a parent, if you figured it out, you start to navigate who they're spending time with and talk about that a little bit. If they figured it out because they know, then they'd make a shift. They have to decide. That doesn't mean 3 strikes, you're out. We're going to be mean to that person and say, I'm not your friend anymore. See you later. It just means you're making that conscious soil check effort where you're like, okay, this is not helping me grow. In fact, it's making me wilt. So I'm going to start spending time with other people, or it might mean I have to stand alone for a minute and I have to be courageous. And it's okay. I think sometimes girls think that you can't put your happiness in anyone else's hands. You can't have a happy day only if that one girl includes you in the conversation during break or at lunch. That is so mentally not well. Like, you have to decide whether or not that girl includes me, invites me to her party. It doesn't matter, because I know who I am. So in those moments of friendship, the drama, we have a whole episode just on drama. Never feed the fire. So I would say if drama starts, you can do 3 strikes, you're out, and remove yourself. Start to really cultivate other friendships. It might mean standing alone for a minute, for a week, and talking to your parent. Parents might need to get involved. Let's try this neighbor friend, like invite someone new over. Okay. But when you're talking about real drama, okay, let's say if something got spread about you, gossip, that's happened to all my children. What do? There's some choices, and we talk about those choices. First of all, we suggest go straight to that person. You want to put out that drama fire. You do not want to do anything to feed that fire, which the worst thing that girls almost always do is go talk to another friend about it and pull other people in. And then it becomes this bonfire that almost everyone didn't even need to be a part of.
Yes, the mean girls.
Right. Yes. So first of all, if you know who the mean girls are, get out of there. You don't need to, you be nice to them, but just don't even try to have a relationship. It's not worth it. It's just get out of there. There's nothing good there. But be nice and smile. Smile and wave, girls. Smile and wave. Yeah, that's what we say. That's what we tell them. Smile and wave and move on. And so there's tools, like go straight to the person that you have the problem with and just be bold enough to be like, hey, what's going on? And sometimes drama fires, like gossip fires, there's no way you can put them out. And if you go around and try to talk to everyone that heard something bad about you that wasn't true, there's no way you can do that. It actually feeds the fire. So just stop and move on with your day. And guess what? Who cares what they think? Who cares what they say? If you're confident and moving on with your day, going to your math class, working hard in math, you go home. Yeah, it hurts a little bit, but you decide how long it hurts. That's a whole nother episode about hurt feelings. 4 seconds, 4 minutes, 4 days, 4 weeks,
4 months. Yeah,
Yeah. Like these girls have so many garden tools in their little tool belt to take with them to middle school. And they learn to know, just like that girl in the movie, they know which ones to pull out. They're doing their soul checks all day. And they're like, oh, this one, 3 strikes, you're out. Oh, this one. They know. They're so smart and they grasp these so easily. So drama, who cares what they think? They've got this. They know what to do.
It's so wonderful how you are giving them so many tools. I mean, everything that you've already talked about can be applied to the mean girls, the drama, the forcing to assimilate, conform, and all the competition and whatnot. So what you're doing, it just makes me sparkle with excitement. So thank you.
I love it.
Of course.
These ladies were so much fun to talk to. I'm sure I'll be referring back to this episode and, of course, checking out their program for our kids. Here are our 3 takeaways from this episode with the I Believe in Me team. Number 1, when it comes to building confidence in our tween children, each of the ladies had something to say and brought ideas from different perspectives. Becky discussed creating simple daily routines that help kids accomplish tasks and feel good about themselves. When children have help establishing habits that build on each other, and then they take the time to celebrate themselves, it builds confidence. Katie supported the importance of routines, mentioning that when someone has a routine, they have purpose in their day. They have purpose as a person, and they're ready to give back because they've woken up and did routines that prepared them for their day. She mentioned, quote, routines are the roots. The roots are what are in the soil, seeking out all these nutrients. And our soil is our mind and our heart working together. Abby talked about building competence in a young child. From a parent's standpoint, comes in giving your child a sense of knowing who they are and knowing what feels good to them. And then what doesn't feel good to them. Helping the child to have what they referred to as soil checks. Soil checks can be done in every area of life. Number 2, the ladies talked about building an I don't care what they think perspective. This is when a person knows who they are, they know what they stand for, and they're making decisions in life. Life is also referred to as their garden. When they make choices of what they want to bring in and keep out of their garden, they're acting as the master gardener, and it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. Using the analogy of a garden theme to describe all the concepts makes the information easier for children to retain and utilize. Number 3, there was a lot said about how to work through friendship struggles and navigating the drama of middle school years. One tool that they mentioned that stuck out to me was the 3 strikes you're out. It's a beneficial tool for children to use and to practice using their soil checks. Katie described it as, quote, if they are hanging out with the same group of friends, or perhaps one friend, and the same negative feelings or the same triggers in their soil goes off, and it's happened 3 times within a certain period of time, this is an example of 3 strikes, you're out. And then as a parent, we need to connect the dots. If that same name keeps being brought up in the same negative way, or our child has strong emotions and that same person tends to be in that conversation about that uncomfortable feeling. As parents, we need to start navigating who they're spending time with and have conversations with them about it. Perhaps your child has figured it out and they realize that they need to start making those conscious soil checks. They might be saying to themselves, this person or these people aren't helping me grow. In fact, it's making me wilt. So I'm going to start spending time with other people. Or it might mean I have to stand alone for a minute and I have to be courageous. And that's okay.
High five, friend. We've enjoyed hanging out with you. Follow us so you're the first to know when we drop a new episode.
If you've enjoyed your time with us, let us know by leaving a review. We always love hearing from you. Until next time, stay true to you.